Alrighty, people. Welcome in. Welcome in. Another
Yeah.
week, another opportunity to do some mock drafts,
Something
to
special is
figure
gonna happen
out
here tonight.
what players are values, how we want to build our team, what strategies what we want to deploy in 2024. Thanks for being
Hopes to
here
burn,
with
baby.
us. Do us a favor, hit that like button as today's stream has begun. And let's start off with a little would you rather.
Coulda, shoulda, woulda, but did it.
And this is in redraft leagues, right? Best ball. Would you rather DK Metcalf or Kyle Pitts? And let's assume it's a 0.5 tight end premium. DK Metcalf or Kyle Pitts in a premium league. What are we thinking?
0.5 tight end premium. I always say this doesn't make a huge difference for me. I'm gonna go DK Metcalf here. Um, just hoping and believing that this new offense is going to be something special here with Ryan Grubb coming from Washington, supporting 3 wide receivers, and
I agree.
yeah,
This is DK
give me
Metcalf.
DK.
I think DK Metcalf has a top 12 ceiling this year. I really think there's a range of outcomes where he could be a top 12 player. I'm really excited about this new offense that Ryan Grubb is going to deploy. So we'll go DK Metcalf there as well. Let us know what you guys think in the chat. Next one, Romeo Doubs or Brian Robinson. I'll make the executive decision of Brian Robinson. How about Jameson Williams or Brian Robinson? That's pretty easy in best ball. All right, Jake Ferguson or Brian Robinson. They're really trying to have us choose someone other than Brian Robinson. Tight end premium, 0.5 tight end premium. Best ball league, Brian Robinson or Jake Ferguson?
I'll take Jake this one.
Jake one? Jake this one?
Yeah. Sorry, I'll take Fergie. Yeah, I'll take Jake Ferguson. Just I like his opportunity coming into this year. We just recorded a video about Jake Ferguson, and my expectations essentially of somebody that is going to be having a phenomenal year. So I'll take Jake Ferguson over Brian Robinson.
Yeah, the Cowboys threw the ball more than anyone last year. They didn't really add anyone of note. You've talked about that. I've talked about that. I think Jake Ferguson's a great pick. I think he has a top 6 ceiling this year. I really think that's a ceiling outcome for him. Tony Pollard of Montgomery. I don't want to speak for everyone, but I think this is Monty.
Yeah, Monty for me.
Okay, and we'll do a couple more before we get into the mock draft. All right, this is a difficult one actually. Deebo Samuel or Mark Andrews, and remember we're staying with this theme of a tight end premium.
For me, this is Marky Mark, no question about it.
Yeah.
Lamar. English.
Words are difficult. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I was gonna say Lamar, like Lamar Jackson.
Lamar Jackson.
Lamar
Mark
Jackson.
Yeah, shout out to Mark Jackson. Okay, yeah. So
Mark Andrews. I'm gonna go Andrews here. I think first of all, phenomenal value in drafts this year. Second, he's gonna have a phenomenal bounce back year. You have to remember that he was injured in the second half of that season, was playing with an injury in the first half of the season, or throughout his time on the field. So it wasn't even 100% here. And a lot of people are concerned about Zay Flowers, but even when Zay Flowers was on the field, he was still outpacing him in almost every single category. So give me Marky Mark here.
Yeah, I think it is really close. I think I'm still going to lean Deebo, but it's so close. I mean, I guess it depends on how big the format is. I guess if it was a start 7, I'd go Andrews. If it's start 8 or 9, probably Deebo. But, averaged last year felt like a down year, right? Did we all feel that way with Deebo Samuel? He averaged 16 points per game and was a wide receiver 12 on a points per game basis. And a down year where Brandon Ayuk shined. So
Ayuk it.
I think I would choose Deebo there, but it's really close. We got Sparrow who says Deebo, Cole says Andrews, Daniel says Andrews. Best ball Baker or Raheem. I think I would pretty easily go Raheem Mostert there. Chase Brown or Quentin Johnston. These are two players you love.
QJ, every single day has a high upside, no doubt about it.
All right, so you're going Quentin Johnston there.
Don't disrespect him.
I would rather just let the auto pick go out on that pick. This is easily Zach Moss for me. I think. See, the fact that this is even a question, dude. The video that we recorded today that releases tomorrow, gives me so much more confidence that is the right player I chose for that video, because this is ridiculous. Why? This is a question. You're asking me this? Come on. It's Zach Moss. It's easily Zach Moss. But let's get to the mock draft today. If people want to join, how can they do so?
Yeah, guys, join our Discord. That link is in the chat and is also in the description below. Join our Discord. Go to the Fantasyland tab with the orange footballs to the left of your screen. Then go to announcements. That's where we post every single link to mock drafts, whether that's redraft, dynasty, or even videos that we release throughout the week. Once again, go to the Fantasyland tab with the orange footballs, go to announcements, and that's exactly where you can join each and every mock draft here. And I'm going to be joining the mock draft myself and picking a spot. Once this loads up here, I haven't done the one-on-one yet. Let's go through a series where I can't really go through a series, but I'll try the one-on-one. I'm going to copy this link and then I'll put that in the chat here.
Yeah,
a lot of people already ready. 3, 2, 1. That link is out already.
That's gonna load up. But by the way, we did make an announcement in the Discord. We're looking for video editors. We are talking to a couple people at the moment. Have some people that we really, really love, and just seeing, I guess, everyone out there who might be interested in joining the team. So if you're someone who is a video editor and you have some interest in being a part of the team in some fashion, in some way, then check out the form that I just put in the comment section. It's also in the description if you're watching this later. But that mock draft has filled up. So this is a 1 quarterback, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, 3 flex spots. But we are doing PPR, we're doing tight end premium, and we are doing, PPR, tight end premium, 1 quarterback.
Yeah, PPR, tight end premium, one QB, baby. Come on.
Starting off in 3, 2, 1, and Badaki goes CMC at the 101. Catching up with you guys in the chat. Joel says, can we just make Ayuk a commander already? Clearly the dude wants Jaden. I agree. Let's make it happen.
I think it's interesting. Like, surely the Commanders are pissed that you posting practice footage.
They'll definitely sit down with Jaden and be like, hey, I know this is your friend, but you can't be showing him this stuff. So I definitely agree with you. Gator says, keep those likes coming. Let's see what we can do before they start. Yes, like goal today is 50 likes. We're currently at 22, so we're almost halfway there already. So do us a favor, smash that like button if you have yet to do so. Joel says, Badaki really going to mock with a birthday hangover?
I mean, a COVID hangover, my guy. I'm still coughing. We just recorded videos, and I was struggling to speak. I'm still struggling to speak, but I'm hanging with you, boys. You're probably going to see me coughing in and out here, and I'm going to put myself on mute. And if I do cough, when I'm not muted, I apologize in advance.
Yeah.
We see a run of wide receivers here. CeeDee Lamb, Jamar Chase, Tyreek Hill. Now Zach's on the clock here at the 105. What are you thinking here?
My heart says Bijan Robinson, but my head says Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Oh, boy. I mean, that's a tough one this year, no question. Like, you think of Bijan Robinson taking another step. Maybe you're projecting a little bit of regression from Amon-Ra, but still a very safe floor as well. I mean, it's tough.
Bijan, I think Bijan has a better chance as the RB1 finish than Amon-Ra does as a wide receiver 1 finish, in my mind. But I think Amon-Ra is a safer play. I just want to see how this plays out. I think if this is a real league, I probably would just go Amon-Ra there and play it safe. But I just want to see how an anchor RB strategy works out in this draft. But Amon-Ra, like I said, probably should have been the pick there. But the way they're talking about Bijan, man, is really exciting me. The CMC role. Everything starts through the run game. Everything funnels through Bijan. It makes sense. Obviously, the guy's so talented. Why did Arthur Smith make it so complicated? So yeah, I'm just going to try this out just to see how it goes. This is why we mock. What's up, WG? Welcome in. Scribbles, what's up? Hopefully you got into a mock. Zachary Ann says, I have a question. Did my money redraft? I got H at the 401. I don't feel too bad about that. What's up, Slim? What's up, WG?
Zachary's in the 7th, he said.
Zachary's at the 107. You love to see it. Johnny says, I got $6 on Anselmo to take the most rookies. Bryn says, someone offered me Ayuk and 2 firsts for Amon-Ra.
Someone offered me Ayuk and 2 firsts for Amon-Ra St. Brown?
I would need to know I know we can't really say this for sure, but like, where do you project those first being? Because if you're telling me it's 2 first and they're from like the best team in the league, and when I give them Amon-Ra, they'll get better, then no. I'm probably just going to keep Amon-Ra, as crazy as that sounds. But if you're telling me it's for Brandon Ayuk and these 2 first-round picks are probably going to be the 103 to the 106, then yes, I would do it. It just really depends. Like, context is really needed there, I think.
Yeah.
In the first round, we had 4 running backs and 8 wide receivers. And we saw Jefferson, Puka, Brees, Garrett Wilson, A.J. Brown, Jonah starting with double hero RB with Gibbs and Taylor.
Yeah,
Original Eric is starting a 0 RB strategy with A.J. Brown and Marvin Harrison. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're talking about this in a video that releases tomorrow, but I'd like to ask the chat, because this stumped you a little bit in the video. I want to ask the chat, do you guys know in the history of fantasy football, and I'm actually giving it away now, so it's not going to be that difficult, but do you know who's the highest drafted rookie wide receiver ever? The highest drafted rookie wide receiver ever. Who is it? Tell me in the chat. From a rookie, tell me. And bonus points if you know the second highest rookie wide receiver ever drafted in ADP. Tell me in the chat. I want to see how many people can guess this right. So we'll see. But we see Marvin Harrison Jr., Drake London. What's up, Cole? Welcome in. NMB. Always say that wrong. So to be fair, they always say that. They're not going to say, yeah, Bijan won't be used that much. Yeah, no, for sure. But I think now that we have the Coach Speak Index, there is actual validity to things that people say. You know, you can look at a coaching staff and what they've said in the past now and say, okay, I can't trust them. Or now you can say, you know what, I can actually trust this player because historically, or this coach, because historically he follows through on the things that he says. So totally get where you're coming from, though. As Saquon, Derrick Henry, and Kyron come off the board. Okay.
Yeah, so nice little run of running backs there.
The question was, Badaki, who is the highest ever drafted rookie wide receiver? And who's
a lot
the
of people are saying who
highest?
I said.
So we've got some answers. We've got Calvin Johnson, Jalen Reagor, Keyshawn Johnson, OBJ.
Shout out to
Jamar
Keyshawn
Chase.
Johnson. That's who I said, by the way. I said Jamar Chase.
As I'm going to try something a little bit different today, and we're going to grab Travis Etienne here. We're going to go double hero RB. I want to see how it pans out for me. Okay, so the answer is, and a lot of you got it, the highest ever drafted rookie wide receiver is Marvin Harrison Jr., who's currently being drafted as a wide receiver 9, late first, early second round pick. So Chief got it, Casey's got it, and the second highest wide receiver as a rookie in ADP is Malik Neighbors. And some of you got that as well. Chief got that. Casey got that. So the reason that these trends are happening,
Giants legend, really,
is because rookie wide receivers each year are contributing serious numbers to our fantasy rosters. So we're getting smarter at drafting them. But now we're in a position where it's like, oh my gosh, Marvin, I got to take him almost in the first round. It's pretty crazy. So we talk about that in detail on tomorrow's video. I'm excited for you guys to watch that. But yeah, Malik, the highest drafted rookie wide receiver ever, and Marvin now beats him out as well in the same year. 2 of the highest drafted rookie wide receivers ever.
Yeah. Bloody wild, I'll tell you.
Oh, sorry, Liam. Yes, real NFL draft, or real rookie fantasy drafts. Yeah. Gator says almost 30 likes.
So we have a huge run of running backs, Saquon to Isaiah Pacheco there. We normally don't see this many running backs going in the second round.
We don't.
I mean, unless I missed something last week when I was out.
No, but to be honest with you, like I was kind of looking at the board. I was seeing people going RB, and I thought, I want to stay water here. I want to see how the board falls to me. That's why I went with the RBs. I want to see how this pans out.
Yeah, sure. It was kind of pushed me in an interesting position here. I was honestly hoping for the likes of Travis Etienne or Derrick Henry to fall to me. We kind of seen at least one of those guys fall into the third round,
Yeah.
specifically Travis Etienne. Because I like starting, two running backs most of the time here. But the running backs kind of go bare. I'm not in love with Josh Jacobs, Rashad White. I do like some of these other guys, but I feel like they're a little bit of a reach here. But I am on the edge, which I have to keep in mind. Let's go Nico Collins here.
Yep.
And then
JW says, okay, but they haven't been drafted in real drafts yet. They actually have JW because Underdog is real drafts. But the ADP I'm referring to, my brother, is from Sleeper, ESPN, and Underdog. And the ADP on Marvin Harrison, it's not like he's going to fall 3 rounds from here until August either. This time next year,
right.
Marvin's wide receiver 1. I love it.
I'm going to go 2 Houstons. Let's go Joe Money Bags and Nico here.
Okay.
I feel like I'm not going to get a running back I'm going to be in love with the way the board just went. So let's play the board a little bit.
Says the boys are shifting from dynasty and best ball to real redraft. The top end running backs are so scarce, hard to make up those points.
Yep.
I actually really do love some running backs late in drafts. I just wanted to try this. I just wanted to try and see how this would work out.
And that's kind of what I've kind of always been talking about. I feel like the running backs later rounds, I'm not in love. There's a handful I do like. I agree. But I think as we get closer, we're going to see these running backs really, really rise, where I think you're going to have to go running backs early, and finding these values late is going to be, you're really going to be clinching on hoping that nobody's going to snipe you in those later rounds.
I don't know, dude. I think there's so many running backs down the board that I love. Like I said, I really, really like some of these dead zone running backs this year, but I just wanted to try something different. Obviously, I went double RB, but I really, there are a lot of running backs I love down the board. We'll talk about them as they go off the board.
Yeah, we'll see. 52 people here. I have a question for the community. Where's everyone located? So, well, where do you guys live? Obviously, we live in Australia, but where does the majority of our community live? Are you guys more West Coast, East Coast, more Central? Here we go. We got Arizona, New Mexico, Chicago.
Okay.
We have LA, Denver.
Something is in the water, dude. I gotta stand.
Gosh, you guys are literally everywhere.
Something is in the water. I'm in the 3rd round, the middle of the 3rd round, and I'm about to take a player who's probably going to get 150 plus targets.
Yeah, but he's going to
finish as my wide receiver 1. As my wide receiver 1.
Thank him.
I'm getting Devontae Adams as my wide receiver 1 in the 3rd round. That is absolutely crazy. Thank you for letting me do that. So this is where the people say they're from: Arizona, New Mexico, Chicago, LA, Denver, Massachusetts, Boston, Detroit, Texas, Seattle, Vancouver, Minnesota, Oklahoma, East Coast, Philly,
Oklahoma,
Florida, Maryland, Adams. Yeah. Zachary said, started watching you boys last year. Love to see it.
That's awesome.
So people are from all over.
Yeah, you guys are from all over. I felt like there was going to be a concentrated community. Maybe there was people from LA or Texas or somewhere, Florida, but it's really everywhere. Yonkers, New York. Shout out to New York.
New
it is
York
interesting.
In the building. I'm walking here. Give me a coffee. Right?
Hypothetically, if we were to go to the States, where should it be like the hub that we should all meet? Where would you guys travel to? Like, if you're in Canada, would you go to New York, or would you go to LA? Would you go to Florida? Would you go to Texas? Like, where would you guys want to meet? And without being biased, of course.
Well, everyone's just going to comment where they're from.
I know, right? Chicago. Which I want.
By the way, Macy, you and I love the same players, but my friend, please do not be putting Pickens up the board like this. I'm begging you, Daniel Macy. His ADP is so good right now. He's like wide receiver 28 in ADP. You love him. I love him. Please don't do this, Macy. I'm begging you. Do not put George Pickens into territory where I can't draft him. I'm begging
Macy's
you
doing it.
with all my heart. Do not make Pickens ADP go up like this, please.
Look at yourself in the mirror, man.
That's just too high, brother.
I mean, how high is high though? I mean, let's really think about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Wide receiver 18?
That is 10 full positions higher. And George Pickens' ADP right now.
Where's he going on underdog? Let's see.
Right now, his ADP is 54. Okay, so 36. 38, 39.
Yeah, underdog he's wide receiver 28, which is ADP 40.
So right now his ADP is a 506. So we're almost taking him 2 rounds early. I'm saying just please don't push his ADP up. I'm begging you, please don't do it.
Probably the easiest for everyone to fly and cheapest. Love that from Casey.
So Jonah goes 3 running backs to start, and then Michael Pittman as his wide receiver 1. We got Eric. We're doing completely different strategies here at the 111 and the 112. Eric's going wide receivers, and then Rachaad White's his RB1. Yeah. Jonah's going
completely
running backs.
Opposite.
And then J Max said, you know what? I'm going straight wide receivers, baby. Straight cash, homie.
Chiefs and Star hotels. Oh man, love all the input
says,
from the
I would
community.
travel
awesome.
wherever to meet up with you guys. Just let me know. Let's just say
hey, that's awesome.
Be on the lookout for something soon. All right, be on the lookout for something soon.
Start pinching your pennies, boys and girls. We're happy. Bring your children. Come back.
No, I mean, yeah, you can. It's your life.
No, don't bring it. Zach's like immediately no. If I could bring my child, I would, but
no, I mean, look, you can bring your kid. I just don't know if they want to be there. Like, who are these random people I've never met, Dad? I'll take Devonta Smith. That feels like a pretty heavy discount to get him as my wide receiver 2 in the 4th round at the 408. You said Pickens was 18?
He was wide receiver 18, yeah.
22, 23, 24, 25. I get Devonta Smith as a wide receiver 26. That just... I don't understand how he's that late, but I'll take it. Mark Andrews comes off the board.
I wanted Mark there. Really wanted Mark.
Keeping up with the chat, Casey says pick a travel hub. Atlanta and Dallas Fort Worth are probably the easiest and cheapest. Is it happening this year? Can't say anything yet, Daniel Macy, but in the next 2 months something might happen. I'll just leave it at that. We know wherever it is, it has to be a Chick-fil-A. Very true.
That's actually a great question.
Yeah. I know where we're planning to go has Chick-fil-A, but I won't be eating. I got to stay healthy. I will only eat it on the last day.
Oh, no. You're really holding it in there. I'm going there day 1 if we go there.
I got to go straight to the grocery store and eat healthy. John says, how did you guys end up in Australia? We both decided we didn't really want to go like the traditional college route after we graduated. Born and raised Americans, and decided to move to Australia. Both went to the same university, school, and became housemates.
Cooper.
Lived in a house where things were pretty chaotic most of the time, and a little bit of a frat vibe, but we had a lot of fun. And then Badaki married a Australian, I married an Australian, and the rest is history.
The rest is history. I was really hoping for Amari Cooper there. Really wanted him.
I like Portillo's, Chef. I like Portillo. Yes, Chef.
I've never been to Portillo's. Yes, Chef. You seen season 3? How you feel?
I am halfway through it.
How you feel so far?
Yeah, big fan, huge fan. I love the bear. Did you see the video I released last week? I had it a part of the intro. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, big fan. Big fan right here.
I feel really baffled. I feel like there's no one that I want to take here besides a tight end, and I'm going to take the tight end. I'm going to do 2 onesie positions, F it.
All right, Dalton Kincaid and Jalen Hurts off the board. You're going to be looking at your wide receivers at the 6-12 and 7-1 thinking.
I know. What the hell am I doing here?
What happened?
I think that's the problem of drafting at the edges. You know, like you have to be okay reaching. Like I see this next 6, 7 players, and I'm like, do I want to take this guy at the 412 right now?
Yeah.
You
I
have to
just
get out of that. You have to get out
I
of that mindset.
I don't I feel in drafts I can't go early quarterback and early tight end. Most of the time I have to choose one or the other.
Yeah,
It's just
yeah,
so
for sure.
difficult to build out the rest of the team, but obviously we mock to try different things here.
Yeah.
Gator says if you have not need to listen to the song about Chick-fil-A from Tim Hawkins, definitely will. Jonas
That's
says I
also
wanted White
yeah.
as RB3 but walked away without setting the queue. Whoops.
Oh, good.
What's the best Australian holiday? I don't know anything about Foster's Day. That doesn't sound real. The best Australian holiday? They share a lot of the
There's
same,
no-
but I guess like Australia Day, would you say?
Yeah, Australia Day. There's a lot of controversy around it. It's kind
Yeah,
of like
True.
it's kind of like Thanksgiving when you really think about it. Like
Yeah,
Thanksgiving,
think
it's
about the
not-
controversy in Thanksgiving, and they kind of share
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same thing. Yeah, so
Um,
yeah, we don't have anything. I would say. I don't know. There's no best holiday,
yeah. There's not really.
and if everything's backwards, you know, like even my birthday. Like my birthday is in summertime in America, and it's wintertime here, so it never feels like my birthday. I know no matter how long I'll be here for,
I'll,
uh,
okay.
it's. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, sorry. I was just gonna say like this is why I like to start with wide receivers because I'm looking at the wide receivers on the board right now, and I'm really not in love with this range of wide receivers. But the running backs, there's so many running backs I still love. I'm not a huge fan of drafting that way. But oh man, I don't want to reach on a quarterback or a tight end here. I'll grab some T. Higgins here. I'll grab T. Higgins as my third wide receiver. Don't mind it. The toilet does not flush counterclockwise. But here's what I will say about the toilets. Way less water. I never realized how much water we waste in America for the toilet. Them toilets in America are filled to the brim with water. It feels like there's so much water. It's like, why do you need that much water? How much damage are you doing per session?
Everything is energy efficiency over here as well, which is pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like there's maybe a fourth of the water in the toilets in Australia. Anyway, who cares? Scribble says, do you see a scenario where Brees outscores CMC? For sure. I think any of those top names, CMC, Bijan, Brees, or Gibbs, I think could be the RB1. There's some other dark horse names I'd say, but with CMC and his age and the amount of touches he's had in his career, I wouldn't say it's outside the realm of possibilities that Brees could outscore him or Bijan or one of those names. So I'd still put the favorite on CMC, but I don't think it's a crazy claim.
Yeah, I would agree.
As Kyle Pitts comes off the board here. Low flow toilet are cursed. We're gross over here. We need the what? You know what's gross though about, okay, last thing I'll say about America's toilets that are like filled to the brim with water.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're doing number 2 and you drop one, you drop a kid at the pool. That's a lot of backsplash you got to deal with. The cannonball effect is not fun in America.
Zach knows.
I don't want my butt getting wet, So that is something I've never enjoyed.
Yeah, that's fair. I can understand that.
But anyway, we should move on from toilet talk probably.
Shout out to toilet talk, huh?
Yeah, as CJ Stroud goes off the board next. Johnny says, especially when you hit a bullseye. PTSD from the toilets.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
All right, what is the update on the like goal today? We had a like goal of 50 likes. We're currently at 38, so we're only 12 likes away from 50, which is incredible. do us a favor, hit that like button if you have yet to do so. Simple way for you to help support the channel. If you've been lurking on the channel for a while, maybe today's the day that you end up subscribing. But we appreciate y'all big time. So, okay. I am surprised Ingram went that early. That is one of my favorite tight end targets later down the board. He goes earlier than I anticipated. And even some of these quarterbacks are going like, actually, I would say Mahomes, Hurts, Jackson, Allen all went later than I expected. But Kyler's the first one that I would say went earlier than I expected. But I'm not saying it's wrong. I just haven't seen it often.
Yeah, I agree. Let's see how this pans out here. I'm hoping for a couple guys to come back to me here, which I doubt they are. So let's wait and see what this looks like. He's staring at me like he wants this. Persuasion.
Okay. Who am I going to end up with here? Definitely one of Lad McConkey. So shout out to Macy for the snipe. The sniper.
Macy just the knife. Snap, my guy. Oh, the pipes are glowing.
What is Ronald Reagan going to do here? Redneck
Make sure you
Reagan
vote, guys.
Goes David Montgomery. We can't talk about
Magma.
politics on this channel, dude. No.
Make sure you go vote.
No, don't do
that's
it.
so funny. You know what's
the last
hilarious?
time I talked about politics on this channel, I got destroyed in the comment section.
Let me just preface this. I know nothing about politics, and you can roast me as much as you want, and I have my right to not vote. That's what I'll say. I'm an American. I'm an American living overseas. I have a right not to vote. You know what's funny in Australia? That if you don't vote, you get fined, and I don't think a lot of Americans know that.
Yeah,
you get fined like $50 or I think it's $50 or like $100 if you don't register to vote in Australia.
Yeah. Honestly, this part of the draft is pretty disgusting. I really don't know where to go or what to do. I'm just gonna pretend Rashee Rice is not gonna get suspended this year, and they'll look at it in 2025.
Yeah, that's fair.
Savage Badaki 2024.
Savage Badaki.
Chef says other countries turned our debates into a drinking game at the job.
And what's funny is that, it sounds terrible. I'll say this.
I think you should be very careful what you say.
I'm just gonna say this. No, it's when it comes down to Australians. Like, I feel like a lot of Australians want Americans to vote because it impacts them as well.
Yeah.
Like tremendously. So they'd be like, "Oh, you're American? Are you voting?"
Yeah.
Like, actually, I have the option not to vote.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe I might vote, might not.
But you should vote though. But
Yeah.
you should vote. No, but I actually have the option not to.
Yeah.
Do you understand that?
Which is foreign to Australians, because if they don't vote, they'll have to pay a fine. But yeah, I remember one time I made a joke about one of the, and honestly, the funny thing about Aki is you and I couldn't care less. We do not care.
No idea
who it ends up being. We don't care if you swing one way or the other, whatever. Like, good for you. Whatever you like. It doesn't. I'm never gonna look at you differently depending on who you vote for or whatever. It just doesn't matter to me. It's never mattered to me in my life. But I remember one time I made a joke about one of the candidates, and the comment section was just like brutal, and they didn't understand it was a joke. They assumed I had like a very specific side. They were like, "Well, the other candidate that you did this and that." Like, I don't care. I don't care about any of these guys. Okay. So anyway, I learned my lesson.
Learn your lesson.
DeAndre Hopkins and Deontay Johnson come off the board. I hate that you like Deontay Johnson now. That's really annoying.
I thought that's who you were going to go. Honestly, I thought you would take Deontay Johnson.
I was betting on Deontay to come back to me.
I mean, yeah, no, I need wide receivers. I was going 2 wide receivers regardless.
Deontay
on the
typically
comeback
doesn't go that high, so I'll have to see if that starts changing.
Yeah.
TX, yes. Chef says, "Oh, so are dual citizenships. You can vote in both."
I don't have my dual citizenship. I'm not sure what Zach
No,
does,
no,
but
no. But we're permanent residents of Australia, and we can try for citizenship if we want. But as lazy as it sounds, I don't really want to like have to vote.
honestly, there's really no benefit outside of voting
Yeah.
and becoming an Australian citizen. Actually, that's a lie. You get a passport and you have the ability to vote. So like coming in and out of Australia will be easier, but I mean it's pretty easy as it is already. So
yeah. I agree. Casey says, "I'm just here so I don't get fined hits for real in Australia." Yes, exactly. Exactly. We have learnt, I mean, we're American. We should have known, but we have learnt that Americans have very strong opinions on politics. So best just not to talk about it as to not upset people. But George Kittle goes off the board at the 7-2. I was definitely considering him with my next pick. I considered him at the 608. Yeah, I kind of wish I started heavy at wide receiver still, man. I don't know. I still like the way my teams look when I go that way. I gotta go my own way. All right, I'm not gonna let this guy fall any further. Raheem Mostert is off the board on my team at the 705, so he goes.
Raheem the Dream.
Devon Achane goes at the 207. I get Mostert 5 rounds later. I made a video about this morning. Hopefully you guys are able to watch it. I can't wrap my head around the ADP difference between those two. I can't rationalize it in my head. It doesn't make any sense. So I love Mostert. I'll take him there.
I completely agree. Agree. I think we both bought a video about Devon 2 separate times, and I think both are different channels, and we were essentially saying the same thing about the difference and the efficiencies and what's happening. It's interesting how high Devon is going. I mean, look, he went at the 2.7 here, and you got Raheem at the 7.5, with really no guarantee for either of those guys, to be honest.
Well, I think the issue is there's no guarantee that Achane outscores Mostert. That's really what it comes down to. I think if you were to ask me who has the higher ceiling, like between these guys, who has a better chance of finishing top 5, probably Achane. But I still think there's no like guarantee that he outscores Mostert. As much as I love Devon Achane, I mean that's my dude. Macy says less than 2 months until kickoff. We're getting really close. TX says he wanted Mostert. Casey says football is what brings us together today.
Well, does anyone have season tickets to any teams out there? Your favorite team? You know what I was doing? I was trying to research like who I should really go for in college football, and I know I kept saying like I want to go for a New York team, but there's literally no one.
You got Syracuse.
Outside of Syracuse, I know people keep saying Syracuse, but you said yes, the Hawks.
He's saying
you got Seahawks.
Seattle, yeah.
Established for Seattle wait list for season tickets is long. Oh, really? I guess. Then you got to get on the wait list to become season ticket holders. I thought it would just be easy.
No.
Daniel said I've been going through
all these professional sportsmen typically.
I guess I don't. I never really thought about it.
Unless they're bottom of the barrel teams.
Daniel Mason going Cowboys Steelers game this year. That's awesome. See a little bit Justin Fields, Russell Wilson. That's why Daniel Macy he's taking George Pickens because he's gonna go see his boy.
Bro, I'm begging you, Macy. Stop pushing him up the board.
He's gonna go see his boy.
Damn, Macy, stop it. Zach Moss, can you guys stop, please? You're killing my vibes.
You know the fucking vibes.
You know the fucking vibes.
Going to Hawks versus Cardinals, Cole says. That's awesome. Kyler Murray, Martin Harrison Jr., Kenneth Walker, Jackson Smith and Jigba, DK Metcalf. When you really think about it, man, that's a good-ass game. Just a bunch of talent on the field.
Son of a bitch. That's a great pick. Jordan Addison's going in the 8th round now? When did that start happening? When did Jordan Addison start going in the 8th round?
brought down on the list to families in case you die before the tickets. Oh my gosh, Chef, that is like it's literally like what's it called? What's the movie with Jimmy Fallon? Is it Fever Pitch? We had he had tickets to like Boston Red Sox with Drew Barrymore.
You keep asking as a question. I don't know that movie.
You never seen that movie?
No.
Surely you have.
No. I'm telling you, I haven't seen it.
Okay,
From
the start, genuinely, I'm pretty sure you've seen this movie. You're pretty well rounded in movies and specifically sports movies. You haven't seen the movie Fever Pitch with Jimmy Fallon and Drew Barrymore, where he like is a Boston Red Sox fan? Surely.
I don't think so. Let me see.
I would feel pretty confident if I put money on it right now. I'm pretty confident you would say yes. I've seen that movie. You probably just haven't seen it in a long time.
It looks familiar. I don't know. It does look pretty familiar.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe. I mean, in 2005, I was 11 years old. Right? Yeah. So
yeah, something like that.
It probably wasn't a memorable movie if I've watched it. Lions are winning the Super Bowl this year. Brandon says mark it down.
Bro, that would be awesome. I wanted them to win last year. I think everyone would be happy if the Lions win. Genuinely.
Yeah, I actually think the Lions are America's team. It's definitely not the Cowboys. It's the Lions.
Yeah, F the Cowboys.
Sparrow says, have made it a yearly tradition to go to a Broncos game around my birthday and Nuggets versus Celtics in Boston. That's a great game. Hey,
that is an awesome game.
Don't sleep on they can't sleep on us anymore. We're a force to be reckoned with now. They're scared when they see the Oklahoma City Thunder on the schedule.
You're scared when you see the Knicks on the schedule. Come on, baby.
They
call us the Villanova Knicks, whatever that means.
You know what Villanova is.
Yes,
right.
I do.
University.
Yes, I do. It's a school, yeah.
Can't wait to see the Jason breakout. Same. I think he's gonna have a good year. All right, so you went.
I just feel like I have to reach even more if I want to get a decent wide receiver room here.
Well, that's the thing. After Addison, it felt like such a huge drop off in wide receivers.
I feel like I'm gonna reach it. I'm gonna reach and do it now just to solidify my wide receiver room.
Okay, Brandon Cooks. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not like you don't pick Brandon Cooks and you're like, holy shit, there's this sleeper on my team that's gonna destroy everyone. You pick him and you're like, that guy's gonna be my flex. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
You're gonna play the flex for me. You're not that guy, pal. You're not that guy. Gator says I was raised rooting for the Magic, and they're coming up quick. They are. Magic's a good team. Chef says, yes, Chef. I would not be happy if a Bears fan if the Lions won. I already had to see Green Bay and Peyton Manning ruin my Sunday. That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
I really wanted Peyton Manning to lose the second Super Bowl because I wanted Eli to be superior with two rings.
Oh, right.
I just would have held that over Colts fans and Peyton Manning's fans. Like, actually, Eli's the better brother. I don't know if you know that. It's 2 rings. I was believing for it, but
at this point in the draft, I still feel like the value is with the running backs.
I love Jerome Ford there, by the way.
Jerome Ford's a great pick. I think I'm gonna grab Gus Bus here. We're gonna grab Gus Edwards as our 4th running back. So I think if I had this team, I'd probably be flexing in some running backs on a weekly basis and hoping they don't get injured. But yeah, man, I hate to keep saying it, but I feel like the wide receiver drop off is so harsh compared to these running backs. I am not interested in a single wide receiver from rounds like 8, 7, 8, 9, 10, and there's so many running backs that are so good here. I don't know. Yep. So if I started with Amon-Ra St. Brown, I actually think this team is in a much better position. If I started Amon-Ra and Adams was my 2, Smith was my 3, Higgins, Rice, and I still had Etienne, Mostert, and Gus, that feels so hot.
Mm. I hear you.
But
I hear you.
just one man's opinion. Just one man. As we see Jordan Love, Cortland Sutton, Jamison Williams off the board, as well as Devin Singletary. There goes David Njoku in the ninth round. I took a little Brock Bowers at the 8-8. We like Brock Bowers. I know there's like this general feeling from the community that we are anti-Bowers. I'm definitely not anti-Bowers. But in rookie drafts this year, it was hard to draft him over some of these wide receivers, and I think that rubbed people the wrong way in the dynasty community. But definitely not anti-Brock Bowers. I still think he's one of the best prospects we've seen at the tight end position, and I'm going to draft him in a lot of redraft leagues if he's available in the 8th round for sure.
I agree.
Singletary's off the board. Brian Robinson, Austin Eckler. So the Washington running backs go back to back. And then Jacoby Myers off the board. So Jonah, who goes wide receiver late, has Worthy, Thomas, and Myers after Pittman. And, you know, I really love Worthy and Thomas, but I like them as like my wide receiver 4 or 5 as a what if these guys break out type of pick, you know, rather than I got to start one of these rookies. Personally, that's the way I like it. But of course, he can flex Jacobs and he can flex one of Eckler or Myers, maybe.
Yeah, I don't mind it. I don't mind it whatsoever. Sorry.
NMB says, as a Philly fan, the Knicks piss me off. Love-hate relationship. Hey, Philly got better. Paul George is a huge pickup. That might be the pickup of the offseason.
Where was Paul George before this?
With the Clippers.
Uh,
The Los Angeles Clippers. And guess who owns all of their first-round picks in the next 3 years?
I'm
The
assuming you guys.
Oklahoma City Thunder. We own their future, and they no longer have Paul George. Thanks for Shea Gilgeous. Thanks for Jalen Williams. Shout out to you. Unlucky.
That's funny. No bloody idea what that means, Mike. That means you just projected first round pick. Or not first round, but early first round pick.
So Jane Daniels was going to be my pick in this round. But, I mean, this is just classic Daniel Macy. I almost want to block Macy from mock drafts so I can get better teams. He always drafts the players I want. That's a joke, obviously, for anyone who's new here.
He wants you out, Macy. Don't let him talk to you like that. Don't let anyone talk to you like that.
But I still hate the wide receivers on the board here. Honestly, I still don't like these names. And there's still a couple quarterbacks I really, really love. So I guess we're going to go running back again. This is why I just can't do early running backs, guys. I just can't do it. There's plenty of startable options, man. There are so many startable options this year. Obviously not all of them are going to do what the top guys are going to do, but anyway. PG leaving is horrible. OKC fleeced the Clippers. I agree. Christian Braun season. When you're a Philly fan, you learn how to live with disappointment. So nothing will make me happy unless I see a banner. That's fair. Jonas says the Clippers mortgaged their future for Kawhi and George. Yep. Unlucky for them. What's up, Macy's block? Liam, yeah, I actually talked about Josh Palmer on the Dynasty channel on today's video. If you guys watched that, Josh Palmer was one of those names I brought who I think the community might be sleeping on a little bit, just a little bit.
Well, there he goes right there, man.
And there he goes off the board.
Difficult. Ain't necessary, you know, not that difficult.
What's up, Maddie? Welcome in, brother.
How you doing, man?
Andrew says, just traded Brooks away for Goff and Warren. My other quarterbacks are Burrow, Penix, May, and Watson. Who should I move? Well, to be honest, I think Burrow's undervalued. I think Goff is someone you should hold.
Yeah.
I would honestly hold at this point. I would hold.
Yeah.
Because most of those names are undervalued right now. So at this point, I think you're best off. If you sell one of those quarterbacks, you're probably forcing it. And I think plenty of those quarterbacks have an opportunity to really improve their value this year. Thoughts on DeMar to Sacktown? It felt like, I don't know. To me, like it just felt like a move where your team stays relevant. Like DeMar DeRozan to Sacramento doesn't make them anywhere near a top 4 team, you know. But they have a really good chance of making the playoffs now, and they'll be relevant. Like that's really, I guess, what I can say. But they're nowhere near the top teams in the West, and to be honest, as a fit, I don't really understand it that much. De'Aaron Fox isn't a good shooter. He's not bad, actually. De'Aaron Fox is a decent shooter. He's not a knockdown guy, though. I'm going to keep pushing quarterbacks down here. It would have been Dak, but I'll keep pushing him down.
I just remember using the Kings on NBA 2K, NBA 2K or NBA Live, and it was, I forgot his name, but you guys might remember him on the Kings. He used to be like this tall, like Russian last name dude, and he used to shoot threes.
Vucevic, I think.
It was probably like early 2000s to mid 2000s, and he was like 7 foot. And
Sasha Vucevic is probably who you're talking about.
I just remember using the Kings and just shooting with that guy.
I can't remember if he played for the Kings. Oh, Peja Stojakovic.
Peja Stojakovic. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, he was a knockdown shooter.
I used to freaking use that guy all the time on NBA Live or 2K.
Yeah, he was knocked down.
But my first love for basketball was Detroit Pistons. I'll be honest with you. Ben Wallace, Rasheed Wallace, Chauncey Billups. Forgot the other guys' names. But I just remember, I just remember that. I think that was like one of the first times. It was probably because they were good at the time. I'll be honest. I was probably bandwagoner watching basketball when I was younger, and I was like, "Oh, I love the Detroit Pistons."
Yeah, and it's crazy how far the Pistons fell off after that run.
Tayshaun Prince. Yeah, there you go. Tayshaun Prince, I remember. And I just thought they were awesome when I was younger. Yeah. And I remember wanting a Wallace jersey. I didn't care which one it was. Never got it though. Glad I didn't get it. Probably would have been priceless now. Worth a lot of money, and maybe not priceless.
Well, yeah, priceless, meaning a lot, worth a lot of money. Lontavion Wicks off the board. Zach Charbonnet. But yeah, I just don't understand how DeMar fits in that offense. It'll definitely help their team, but you've got a ball-centric center who doesn't shoot the three all that much. You've got De'Aaron Fox, who's a decent three-point shooter, but not knocked down. I guess Keegan Murray's a good shooter. I just don't think they're spacing the floor very much. And that is potentially going to be a problem down the road, especially in the playoffs. If you can't space the floor, that'll be a huge problem. Hawkinson, he is going to be someone I'll draft if he falls that far. Because here's the deal. You can keep the guy on your IR. And when he's ready, you can just see what happens, A 12th round pick? I think he's actually a pretty decent option. All right. Have we got any rookies that I really... Yeah, let's grab Jalen Polk here. We'll grab Jalen Polk in the 12th round. I like that. Ty Chandler off the board. Sparrow says, I was going to take Hawk earlier, but I misclicked on Goddard. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, Casey says Gary Payton, Sean Kemp. So that's the Sonic days, right? Tony Kukoc.
Tony Cookie. Trying to remember what other teams they used to play with on NBA.
I loved playing. Well, I wasn't really like playing video games at that time, but when they do the throwback teams, I love playing with Allen Iverson. He's just such a fun guy to play with on 2K. But yeah, I remember the D Wade Shaq era. I remember when that game came out, and you know, you'd go into GameStop and they'd have the latest console on with the latest game. I would sit
Yeah.
and play. I think it was NBA Live actually, not 2K, but when Shaq won a ring with D Wade, I play that game pretty often. Thoughts on
McGrady and Yao.
Polk versus Baker. We've talked about this before, but I don't think Baker is going to start straight away. I think Polk has a better chance at targets earlier on, and obviously he's got the higher draft capital. But yeah, Baker. There's a potential outcome where Baker doesn't see the field much in year one. I'm not saying it will happen, but there's a potential outcome there. McGrady and Yao, that was a lot of fun.
You know, I didn't meet Yao Ming, but I saw Yao Ming at New Zealand Christchurch Airport. He was picking up like somebody at the airport at like 3:00 in the morning when I was when I was like traveling through New Zealand. So weird.
New Zealand, bro.
Shout out to Yao Ming.
Yeah, for real. All right, that was the first time someone took a second quarterback, and I told myself, wait until someone takes a second quarterback and then choose one that you like.
Herbert, great value there though.
And Brock Purdy is still there. So the guy that finished quarterback 6 on a points per game basis last year, I can draft here. You're kidding me. Yeah, I'll take that in the 13th round. Thank you very much. Averaged over 19 points per game, which was more than CJ Stroud, but people don't want to talk about that.
Yeah, let's not talk about it.
So we won't talk about it then. They not like us. They not like us.
They're not like us.
Love the Jermaine Burton pick. He probably doesn't look real in person. Yao Ming, yeah. Was he 7'5" or something?
Yeah, it was something ridiculous. And
Yao
then
Ming is-
my friend, I actually have a video on it on Snapchat. My friend went to go up to, he's like, "Can I take a picture?" And he was like, no. He said no to him. And then his name was Calvin, and he just walked away. Like, I mean, Yao Ming, can I get a picture with you? It was
Calvin,
freaking
cool.
middle of the night, to be honest.
Anytime you are able to make Shaq look small, I mean, yeah, you're in a different stratosphere. When you said Calvin, it made me think of Like Mike. Anybody remember Like Mike growing up? Calvin Cambridge. Yeah. That's it.
Calvin Cambridge.
That was one of my favorite movies growing up as a kid.
Like Mike. And then I think Morgan Chestnut was like Tracy something. Forgot his name. Tracy. I forgot his name in the movie.
Like Mike was a banger, man.
Nah, best basketball movie is Air Bud. Prove me wrong.
Air Bud's fantastic. But the best basketball movie has to be
Air Bud.
No, it's not
Love and Basketball then. It's either Air Bud or Love and Basketball.
It's got to be Hoosiers, right? Or Coach Carter. They can take the chains out the dough, Coach. Remember?
What's your biggest fear?
They can take the chains out the dough, Coach, but they can't stop us.
They can't stop it.
They can take the chains off the dough, Coach.
Why is that the line that you remember?
Because me and Luke used to say it to each other all the time.
That's so rad.
They can take the chains off the dough, Coach.
The one that we always, or like I always say to Ellen is, Rich what? Richmond. That's what we always say, because it's like a little town over here called Richmond, like on the way to Sydney. Rich what? It's funny though. I haven't seen the Hoosiers.
Hoosiers? You haven't seen Hoosiers? Come on, man.
Nah, I definitely haven't seen that.
You gotta see Hoosiers. That's a staple. That's a staple, brother.
A white basketball movie. I don't know why that's funny.
So I'll grab Ben.
The best sports movie ever made from the Los Angeles Times.
Yeah, NMB, we 30 seconds. You can't go quicker than 30 seconds. So that's what I put it on a couple rounds ago. But
So a white basketball movie. Yeah, semi-pro hilarious though.
Why don't we finish off with a Q&A here?
Yeah.
You'll make your last pick, but get your questions in, guys. We'll finish off. We'll answer 5 questions. So the first 5 questions that are submitted, we'll answer. A couple things that you guys need to know. Number 1, we did just release a video on this channel this morning. 5 players to avoid, and I'm giving you 5 alternate options to draft instead. Go watch that on the channel if you have yet to do so. Another thing that you definitely should know is we are potentially looking at bringing on a couple video editors. And if that interests you, if you're, in love with fantasy, if you want to be a part of the team and you can video edit, I'll put a link there in the chat. It's also in the description later. And the other thing is tomorrow we will be live on the Dynasty channel reviewing people's Dynasty teams. Okay, so if you want your team reviewed, it's very simple. The first option is by becoming a Mother Flocker member with the promo code LAND. Have to be a yearly member, but all yearly members get a free team review on sign up. I put that link in there. Otherwise, you can go to the website and you can see at the top right, doesn't matter what promo code you used or whatever, you'll see a little store icon right here. All right, you'll see that right here. You click on that store icon, click team review, and obviously tell us whatever team that you want us to review for you. And as long as it's a sleeper team, you can do this if you've already drafted in sleeper as well for a redraft league as well. But make sure it's the right picks, team name, whatever context you want us to know. And then that's us there, Zach and Badaki from the Land Crew. Tomorrow we will be reviewing people's teams on the live stream. But like we said, we will finish with 5 questions. And
5 questions on.
The first question, let's see. What was the first question?
Make them good too. Make them good.
What was the first question from when we started? When will you be opening up our redraft leagues? Macy, we definitely need to do that. So much is going on right now, but we should probably figure that out before you leave on holiday, Badaki. We should probably figure that out. We'll try and figure that out for you. All right, this will be the first one from WG. WG says traded Sinnott and Tyreek for Neighbors. Yeah, that's a W in my mind in Dynasty.
I think so. Yeah, 100%. That's good. That's a great one.
I'm assuming that's a Dynasty question. Grade team 6. Look, this is dangerous territory here. We don't grade teams anymore because if we grade one person's team, everybody wants their team graded. Okay, and then we're here for another hour. So, Kaz, if I see you put it, if I see you put another question in the chat, I'll make sure we answer it. But we don't do that anymore because then everyone wants that done. Okay, but if you got a question other than that, put it in the chat. I'll definitely answer it. We didn't promise any second mock today, guys. No, we didn't promise any second mock today. Liam says biggest sleeper tight end this year of ADP tight end 20 or later. Okay, tight end 20 or later is a good question. Let me look at ESPN Live ADP as an example.
I don't know where he's at, but I think of Hunter Henry.
Hunter Henry's great. He's tight end 21.
Mike Gesicki.
To me, Noah Fant, is my pick. I've talked about Noah Fant on the Dynasty channel, but I think they're going to throw the ball a lot in Seattle. They let go of Colby Parkinson. They let go of Will Disley. Noah Fant didn't play, 50% of the snaps last year. So I think Noah Fant's a great option. I would also throw in Zach Ertz. I think people will be annoyed how much work Zach Ertz gets. Any other ones? You already said a couple, but
Yeah, that's kind of all I have.
okay.
Hunter Henry, Hayden Hurst, and I'll throw the Giants tight ends, Bellinger or Theo.
Cole says Rome for Bowers and a mid-second. Thoughts? PPR, no tight end premium. It's 8 teams, start 9, super flex.
Rome for Bowers in the mid-second. Thoughts? No tight end premium.
Start
8 teams, start 9, super flex.
I'll say this, like in an 8-team league, I do feel like you need a really good tight end. 8-team, you got to have a difference maker at that spot.
I guess my second question would be, who's your tight end that you would have, or
Yeah,
you're trading for Rome? So who's your current tight end? Because if you're telling me your current tight end is Dallas Goedert, David Njoku, Jake Ferguson, he has Hawkinson. Like, I don't know if I think I would rather just wait.
I would keep Rome then.
Yeah, I would rather just wait and keep Rome.
Henry, Pacheco, Kyron, rank them. For me, it would be Henry.
Kyron
Or
Pacheco.
it would be Kyron, Henry, Pacheco in that order.
This is redraft, IMD.
Yeah, I assume so.
Yeah, I have Henry, Kyron Pacheco.
Yeah, Dallin Hawker's not a bad one either. But that is probably going to be it for today, guys. We appreciate you big time. Again, thank you so much for watching the stream, for hanging out with us. Last thing I'll say is if you haven't signed up to Underdog yet, use our code. I'll put it in the chat. Even if you don't like best ball, I feel like every one of us likes player props and pick'ems, and they just started doing season-long projections where you can bet higher or lower. So go check that out. If you do end up signing up, use the promo code LAND. I just put a link in the chat for you. The reason why you want to use that code is because you'll get, if you deposit $250, you'll get $125 free dollars just to play around with, just to bet with over on the Underdog site by using the code. So,
yeah.
Cole will be the last question here. He says, "Who is your guys' top? Couldn't leave the draft without past round 10."
Oh, honestly, there's so many. And I probably drafted him today. I love Rico. I love Quentin. I like Michael Wilson. I'll even throw Jerome Ford there because he's in that edge of round 9, round 10 type of player. Those are the guys that I'm always trying to draft with high. I'll even throw Wanda Robinson in there. But those are a lot of guys that I love drafting in rounds 10 or later that I feel like I am going to get a huge return on based on their current ADP.
I think we saw it today, but it's mainly a lot of quarterbacks that are really good starting options that I think are targets if you don't go quarterback early. Your Jordan Loves, your Jaden Daniels, your Dak Prescott, your Brock Purdy's. But Pop Douglas would be on that list for me, either Pop or Jalen Polk. I'm trying to get on my team. And
I mean, this is a huge list. I mean, we can even throw like Shakira in there.
Kendre Miller.
Yeah, I mean,
if Nick Chubb keeps falling as far as he is, if Nick Chubb's going to be 3 rounds cheaper than Jerome Ford, 4 rounds cheaper, 1, 2, 3. I mean, I might start drafting a lot of Nick Chubb, but anyway.
Yep.
All right, that's it for today, guys. Appreciate you big time. Thanks for watching. We'll see you soon. All